Good morning. Today I want to talk to you about perpetual budget funding. So if you have a 501c3, typically what you run into is that you have to raise money, seed money from scratch, and you don't know what your budget is. It's really your first rodeo. So we've seen this happen a lot. For 20 years, I've really wanted to help people get their budget funded so that money comes in repeat or every month, with a monthly repeating donation. Typically, out of all people that use your services, only 10% are going to give. So those are just global statistics. We have a way to fix that. Let me just kind of go into it. It's called Perpetual Budget Funding. So what happens is we're just going to get this money coming in every month, because you're going to, once you hire people and you have a staff and you have events and you commit to certain things, you're going to have those same expenses every month, but you might not have the same amount of donations. So it's pretty exciting. As long as you have set up your status with the government and you have a 501c3 with an IRS EIN number, and you are in good status, is what they call it. As long as you're in good status, we can literally start funding you right away. So we have for example, I know a men's home that's starting up in a side of Columbus, Ohio. They're doing grassroots fundraising, but they're going to have a duplex, I think it is. It's going to have 3 men on each side. 2 men are going to, each side will have a mentor, someone that's kind of halfway through the program, and one person is just starting. So there's going to be food, water, shelter, basic expenses, rent, lease, electricity, utilities, and then, any coaching services, websites, billing, bookkeeping, just general expenses. You're going to have some repeating fees you might not be unaware of. So yes, all your tithe money personally can go to that as you're starting out. You can do a Kickstarter and ask people to give, but if you find out your monthly nut is $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, you need that coming in every month. So here's how we fix it. The solution is basically to find out, you have to know, number 2, what is your budget? So you're going to have to begin tracking this stuff and get an idea. Once you know what your budget is, let's say it turns out to be $5,000 a month times 12 months, so $60,000 a year. So we know you need $60,000 a year. So basically what we do is, if this is your 501c3, what we need to do is find businesses that support what you're doing. They'll probably be your top 5, top 10 donors. And these are the ones that have some kind of small business or big business. And so, some of these people, let's see, they might do $100,000 a year in revenues. Some of them might do $1 million in revenues. Some of them might just be a friend who sells lemonade. They might be doing $60,000 in revenue at the fair if it opens back up. Whatever it is, each of these businesses are going to end up supporting you with money that they write. They're actually writing you, this guy's tithing his 10% to you. You're getting $6,000. Million, this guy's giving you $100,000 if it all comes to you. The $100,000, this guy's giving you $10,000. So, 60, you're above your budget. Now that typically doesn't happen. They probably tied to their church and they're probably giving a small gift to you. So we need you to get your full $60,000. And if this isn't happening, that scenario is not happening for you, then we want to look at something different. And what we can do is simply take the 60,000. Well, here, you know what? We got it up there. Let's just use that. And we divide it by 0.0055. And that's going to give us our number. Excuse me. So if you have a calculator, just take 60,000 divided by 0.055. And guess what that number is? That's the monthly goal that you're going to need in total revenues of these companies, the money that comes into their companies as credit card processing. So if we take 60,000 divided by 0.0055, we get 10,909,000 and $90. Okay, so this number is the credit card processing that these companies do, and this is annual volume. So you don't have to find one company that does 10,000,009. You can find 10 companies that do 1,090,000, or you could find 100 companies that do 109,000 a month, or you could find 1,000 companies that do 10,009. I'm sorry, annually. This would be annually. So a million. This would be $1 million a year in revenue during their credit card processor. 100 that do 109, or 1,000 that do 10,900. So basically what we do is we come in with a program, it goes in and it takes their credit card processor, which is normally charging them double, and we can cut a lot of the fees out and typically save them about 1% of their total volume, up to 1%, with our found money program. It's a cost efficiency kind of program where we go through their expenses, and we'll probably find other things, but we just start with the credit card processing, and we'll go in. So if you have one car dealership that, they might do 10 million a year, we go in and cut their expenses. It's going to create extra money that they could just donate to you, but they'll probably keep the savings. That's up to them, but nonetheless, without any money out of their pocket, if you have one business doing the 10.9, or 10 doing the million, 100 doing the 100,000, 1,000 doing 10 grand, likely it'll be this, or a combo of this. That 55 basis points out of the back end of the credit card processing that no one ever sees, because the way we're set up with a group that I work with, they are not trying to make money on these credit card machines. They're trying to give to charities. So what they'll do is they have a nonprofit arm and a for-profit arm, and they'll cut out the fat, and then once they get the account under their control, the back end fees, they're actually going to not only save the company money, but they're going to cut out some of the back end fees, which is the way they stay in operation, and share that with them. So that ends up being the 55 basis points on average. Every account is different, but we normally would be able to create this $60,000 here in perpetual budget funding, and this would come in every year. So year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. So that's pretty much in a nutshell is what I like to say. So if you have if you have a 501c3 in good status with the IRS, you got an EIN number. Normally, if you want to apply for grant money, you would have to be fully functional, and so there's this gap. We can help you immediately to do this by doing this and funding your budget. So if you know anybody that's a startup that has a great idea but just doesn't know where to get the money, we have a very creative way of fixing that. So please send them to us, and you can get in touch with us in the comments of the video. There should be instructions, or you can just go to our website, which is stlpsi.com. Okay? All right. Thanks for tuning in.